Hello and welcome back to the Dune Minute Podcast, your place to dive deep minute by minute into the cinematic adaptation of Frank Herbert's world of Dune. John, I gave that one a little bit of pizzazz.
I felt it. I felt the spirit in me.
I'm one of your hosts, Zach.
And I'm John.
And we are here on a rare Saturday record for us.
Everything's off because I took yesterday off from work.
Yeah.
So
it's technically your Sunday.
Mentally, it feels like a Sunday.
Then you get bonus Sunday tomorrow.
And then I get bonus Sunday, yeah.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
So it's weird. I just needed a day to like chill the fuck out.
Sure. Well, you had some video games.
Yeah, of course.
To get through.
But, you know.
Oh, well, I appreciate the flexibility. I got to take a trip up to North Georgia tomorrow.
It's a beautiful time of year to do it.
It's a beautiful time of year, and the apples.
I mean, if you waited a month more, it'd be better, but.
Well, I don't know. Mid-September is a good, not to date the episode, but mid-September is a pretty good time to go up and get some apples.
It's a good time, but, you know, you could have waited till the leaves started to change colors a little bit.
Sure. But I wanted to make an apple pie and like peach cobbler and all that shit now. So I needed to go up. Also,
whatever.
I got to fucking drive my car, apparently. The state of Georgia says drive your car 200 miles before they will let me pass emissions. So I need to go do that.
All right. Well, go do that.
Hey, any excuse. So, yeah, that's going to be my day on this Sunday. So I appreciate the flexibility in recording. And we have an exciting week to talk about.
We do. We've had several good weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And this week is a week.
Okay. It's not telling at all.
Well, you know.
We are.
I think we're taking a little bit of a downturn this week, but not to you know,
save it. All right, keep your secrets.
Recently watched that movie. So to date this, I started working on my Lego Barad-dûr set, and did over a third of it in a single night. So
hell yeah. And that is no small kit.
No, it's over 5,400 pieces.
Nice. Very cool.
My fingertips hated me the next morning because this first third and some change is all very tiny pieces that you have to get lined up and everything, and it sucks. But it looks so fucking cool.
I did not see it when I was down in your basement earlier, so I need to go take a look at it.
All right, well. It's there.
Speaking of kits and other sci-fi/fantasy franchises, I have my very first Star Trek Starship model on the way. It should be here Tuesday.
Do you have your tweezers? Do you have your glue?
No, I have none of those things, so I'm going to have to figure out all this stuff.
The one hobby store that I remember going to with you is closed, so I don't know.
Was that the Games Workshop, the fucking Warhammer 40K or whatever shop?
It was the 40K. Yeah, it was the 40K shop in the what is now destroyed East DeKalb Mall.
That's right. Oh, geez. I remember. So the first time I ever
was it East DeKalb or?
I don't know. It was for sure a mall.
It was a shitty mall that had a
Arbor
theater.
Place? No.
It was a shitty mall that had a theater that we could go see movies at for $4.
Oh yeah, that was North DeKalb Mall.
North DeKalb. Sorry, yeah.
North DeKalb Mall. The only time the first time I ever went into one of those Games Workshops place was at a mall that was in an adjacent town to that I grew up in, Douglasville, Georgia. Mm-hmm. And the mall was called Arbor Place Mall. And I thought Arbor Place was hot shit when I was growing up.
Yeah. Well, you were a child. You didn't know better.
Yeah.
And you also grew up in a hick-ass country town.
Now, they had this pizza place that would blow your fucking mind, John.
Yeah.
Sbarro's? You ever heard of Sbarro's pizza?
Might have heard of Sbarro's once or twice before.
Right, yeah. fucking New York style pizza.
I mean, sure, as a 7-year-old, I'm sure it's the best fucking thing in the world.
But they had a Games Workshop tucked away in like a corner of the mall that no one ever went to.
As every Games Workshop is.
Yeah. Now, I thought it was a video game store because they never truly specified on the outside.
Sure.
So I walked in and I was like, what the fuck is this? I think I asked for like where their Game Boy section was or whatever at the time that I was looking for. And they went, it's not that kind of store. And I looked at the models for a little bit and I was like, this is a level of nerddom that I have no ability to comprehend right now.
And yet 30 years later, here you are comprehending and fully.
Hey man, the journey is long, but we get there eventually. I get it. No, I fully understand it.
Yeah.
We have a mutual friend who's really into it who has helped me understand it.
We do. Yes.
And
he is very into it.
And truth be told, I think the lore of Warhammer's pretty cool.
Oh yeah. No.
They have really good like monster design. It's so good.
Yes. Yes. It is.
I will never be a paint the models person, but I could get behind the lore.
I could see you being a paint the models person.
We'll get there. Baby steps.
Yeah. Well, get your pilot's license first. Then you can open up some time.
I don't have capacity for another thing right now.
That's what I'm saying. Is get your pilot's license first. Then that opens up all of your Saturdays. Spoilers. We're going to be done recording the Dune Minute Part 2 or Season 2 or whatever soon. Mm-hmm. Because as you know, we are talking about minute 130 through 131 today.
Very nice tie-in. Very nice segue.
Of a movie that's got about 30-ish more minutes left in it. Mm-hmm. So
you know how arts and crafty I am. I could absolutely see myself becoming a Warhammer model person.
Yes.
I have zero space to put them. That will be the factor that decides whether I do some shit like this.
You have zero space right now.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. If later in life I have more space, there's nothing to stop me.
Yep. This is one of the things that surprises me very much about you never really getting into D&D. First of all, you can like just go off on rants and like tangents and like do all of that. But sure. B,
I have a very creative mind. Yes.
Yep. B, something about you not like having made the connection between painting your own minifig of your own OC and everything and D&D completely baffles me at this point.
That, and I'll say this, it is a paper thin barrier that has stopped me from getting into D&D.
Yeah.
It's only the opportunity. That's it. I've just never had the opportunity.
You just haven't had a group of people that are like, hey, let's do a campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You know, it's tough for me to make friends online.
Yep.
And none of my friends in real life, other than you, play D&D.
That's not true.
Okay, well, no one that I know outwardly does it. I guess we have some other mutual friends that do it.
Yeah,
sure. If the opportunity arose, I would be 1,000% in. It's just never come up.
Yeah. Well, you'll find it one day.
I will find it one day. Just like Paul found his way to wearing the ducal signet, he found his way.
All right. That's, yep.
One good segue, one segue.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It's about par for us.
Yeah. You are correct, John. We were talking about minute 130 through 131 of this movie. We are resuming with the scope shot of the Army Foundation.
Yep.
And there's a hell of a lot going on here.
They say wars are won on who has the best logistics.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand why the Sardaukar are so effective, because the Emperor's been down on the planet for not very long. We don't have a timer in the corner with all of his splits or whatever, laid out for when he breaks into or when he finishes the Great Deku Tree, when he does all of the other like time warp splits in Ocarina of Time 64. But we do know that he's been on Arrakis for a very brief amount of time, and already we see hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of soldiers just in formation in this like ring pattern around the Imperial tent. And there are ships that are parking and flying around, but everything's still very neat and organized. And they're ready to go.
Now, John, I have a soft spot in my heart for a well-executed logistical maneuver.
A well-oiled machine, as it were.
Well-oiled machine. Oh, I love it to death. They're great. Speaking of well-oiled machines, I started up my... Okay. Don't fucking judge me for this.
Well, now I'm definitely going to, but okay.
And you, dear listener, do not judge me for this. I have 2 cars. Now, one of my cars is this Jeep that I've had for a very long time.
The one that you're driving up to North Georgia because the state of Georgia says
the whole reason. Yeah. The whole reason I have to go drive up to North Georgia tomorrow is because I let this Jeep sit for about a year and a half. I have the luxury of not needing my second car, and I decided I got to get it, back in shape and everything. The only problem with this car was the battery was dead. So went and got a battery charger, charged up the battery. This thing's set for a year and a half, fired right up. That is a well-oiled machine. I actually do need to go get an oil change on it, but damn good engine in that Jeep.
My dad has a 1991 Ford Explorer that just sits in the weather of Maine all year round, and that's their like camp truck that they use. So like running into town and grabbing groceries, or like having to haul shit kind of truck, so that way if it gets beat up, it's not a big deal. It sits just out in the open in the winter. Every summer he gets in the truck, turns it on, and it just like takes a couple cranks and then is right back to it.
And I'm going to sound old as fuck right now. They don't make them like they used to. So I wanted to point out something about this well-oiled machine that we've been talking about.
This logistical machine?
Yeah. And it's a little bit of a difference in the books.
Okay.
So the book specifies how many troops that the Emperor brought with him.
Was it 1,064,000 or fuck?
No, it was not that number that he said in the part 1.
Why do I forget
1,062,000 or whatever?
No, 1.4 million and 62 Solari or something like that. Yeah.
No, the book specifies that the Emperor brought 5 legions of Sardaukar with him.
And we've talked about how many Sardaukar were in a legion way back in part 1 as well.
I've forgotten those numbers. I went to Wikipedia and figured out how many at the peak of the Roman Empire, which a lot of this world is based on, how many people would be in a legion. It was around 5,500 per legion.
Yep.
So this would come up to around 27-ish thousand troops in the books. Now, that's not counting all of the support staff that goes with those 27,000 agents, and plus what the Harkonnens, again, in the books, would have added to this fighting force.
Sure.
This, here in the movie, looks like a hell of a lot more than 27,000 and change.
Yeah, I mean, I tried counting very...
Okay. Bless you for the effort.
First of all, there are so many, and like this is one of those moments where like the CG is, you can tell that it's just kind of like masses of people blended together, so it's a little more difficult. There's a fuckload of people. Yeah. What I can tell you though is that we see a certain number of the large troop transport vehicles. Now,
they're very geometric.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, not I think, I know every one of the great houses has their own like style and design. So like obviously they wanted something very different for all of the emperor's vehicles and their components of all of this to be like, this is not the Harkonnen, this is not the Atreides, this is Shaddam in his own thing.
Okay, pause just for a second. Would it be Shaddam's house design, or would it be just whatever the Sardaukar actually used? So it's like a very brutalist Sardaukar design. Or is there a difference?
I don't think there's a difference because it is the Emperor's Sardaukar.
Fair. Okay.
Yeah, this is just the Imperial design here. Art and Soul doesn't go into this part of it with this week's notes, but you know, just kind of like thinking about it from a we need the design to be so very different from everything else kind of perspective. Plus, with what we see with the Imperial tent and with the ship, it's very like geometric, not nature based, like the Harkonnen stuff. Like we know all the Harkonnen stuff is very based around beetles and other arthropods. This is more geometric in like your simpler shapes, whether they're circles or they're, you know, squares or hexagons or, you know.
It all kind of reminds me of like a knife. Everything is just like an edge, you know?
Yes. Yeah. These troop transports have like giant plates that meet at hard angles kind of thing.
Yeah.
But there's 13 of them, at least from what we can see here, you know, and doing a little bit of counting around like the Imperial tent. So I'd be interested to know, and I looked, Art and Soul doesn't say, nor did I think that they would, how many each of these giant troop transports can carry, because they are very large ships.
Yeah. All that to say, it's a fuck ton of people.
Yep.
And for our folks across the pond, it's a metric fuck ton of people. So we get some sweeping shots of them, and they're setting up camp, and we get like a zoom out shot, a little bit of a zoom out shot, and a nice little like camera flickered, shuttered, like change.
Love that. Yeah, we had that with the episode from Friday last week too, when they were looking at the great grandmother storm.
Yeah, exactly. And we see the Imperial egg is just kind of hovering in the air over
in these trying times.
over what I called the Imperial pop-up tent, aka the ziggurat.
It is just the Imperial tent in Art and Soul.
The Imperial tent. So they don't use the term ziggurat at all?
Nope.
Interesting.
I agree with that.
It's not in the books either. I looked this morning. They don't use the term ziggurat in the books either.
It's very ziggurat-esque in its design. It should
be called that.
I have some notes on its design in case you're curious.
You want to do them now? Or you want to save them?
I'm going to do them now. We're talking about the tent.
Go for it.
So, all the way back in 2022, this was, you know, one of the things that they were talking about, you know, kind of coming up with ideas for. And the whole premise is the egg drops this first layer onto the ground, this ground layer of this tent. And then as the egg rises, it pulls each individual like component in a stacking manner up until it raises the tent fully. So it's a very quick deployment system that they have in place. And the whole idea is you have all of these different metal panels that like slide and interlock with each other, interlink.
Interlink. Ziggurat, interlink. Ziggurat, interlink. Imperial egg, interlink.
We have Denis movies fucking zigzagging in with each other here.
Interlink.
But they wanted it to remain like something that almost looks familiar in terms of its structure and everything like that. So it didn't seem too like weird or out of the ordinary, but still like, because it has these mirror panels and, this very strange structure, also be like really like, holy shit, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
The design work for it was done by a visual effects company, DNEG. I don't know if that is pronounced in any kind of way or if it's just DNEG. Under the supervision of Paul Lambert, who's been our visual effects director throughout all of this movie. But they really like have some awesome pictures in Art and Soul that show like the actual mechanics of raising the tent up. I wish I had a better way of describing it beyond that it just places the ground and the ground floor and then just like knocks up kind of thing. But
allow me to do that for you.
Okay.
From the words of Frank Herbert.
Sure.
So there's a little bit of design talk about the Imperial Center Post. I think that's what they call it here. It's a single metal hutment, many stories tall, reached out in a 1,000-meter circle from the base of the lighter, which I believe they're talking about the ship there.
Yep.
A tent composed of interlocking metal leaves, the temporary lodging place for 5 legions of Sardaukar and His Imperial Majesty, the Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV.
Interlinked.
So, yeah, that's what we get there. So it lines up with what you're saying, according to the books.
Mm-hmm.
I pride myself in being able to, pitch my tent when I go camping very quickly.
Only when you go camping?
Well, come on now. Let's keep this PG.
When have we
This
ever?
is a Christian podcast, John.
Fuck you.
So I do respect a good, just, easy deployment tent like that. It's very nice. 1,000-meter circle from the base.
It's a big ass tent.
It is a huge tent. And the fact that, the design is being pulled from this idea where they drop the base and then it kind of just raises up. Mm-hmm. I love that idea, but the interior shots, which we'll talk about later, really do not lend to that idea.
Well, let's get through this.
Let's get through it. We're like 4 seconds into this minute.
Yeah. We still have a little bit to talk about. Yeah. And this is already a long running episode.
Yes, it is. So we get this POV that we're looking at. It's down the barrel of one of those mono
telescopes.
Sure. The cider scopes.
We're really good at this.
We're professionals. And it's by we get like the POV is from some unnamed Fremen soldier, and this person goes, he brought his whole army.
Yep. There's 4 of these Fremen. 3 of them are all looking through their perspective telescopes and everything, and then the 4th one is just chilling with a rocket launcher.
Right.
I love that. But they're doing what we've talked about before, where they have a little fabric tent over themselves to keep themselves, undercover and, a little more camouflaged in this case.
And it's interesting that they're fairly close to this encampment, and that security would not be doing regular patrols around the edge of this basin.
You'd think, but
well, the book goes into it a little bit. They say that because it's not just 4 random Fremen sitting on the edge here. It's Paul and Gurney and his little cadre in the books. And someone, I forget who, makes a point to say, aren't you worried that they're going to see us here? We should, get back below into cover. And Paul's like, nah, they think we got shields, so they're not going to risk any kind of attack right now because, they're going to blow everything up if they do that.
Yeah.
So after this, we cut to the inside of a tent.
Yeah.
And Paul is laying out, basically the attack plan for the next 20 or so minutes of the movie.
Yep. We see a map of Arakeen and the basin around it. And for the first time in Denis movies, we see the actual mountainous shield wall that you had beeves with all the way back in part one.
All the way back in part one.
And
it seems like they've retconned this a little bit.
They certainly have, but they also haven't, because we did see the flyover of the mountainous shield wall. It just wasn't as pronounced, I think, in part one as it is here in part two, where we have this shield wall around the basin and we have Arakeen on like a mountainous or a more mountainous side of the basin and everything. So in a sense, we do get the quote unquote book accurate shield wall, even though it may not be as book accurate as you would prefer it to be.
Well, I'll consider the beeves semi-squashed at that. Okay, at this point. So let's talk about this plan. And I'm gonna kind of zoom through this plan because Paul kind of zooms through it too.
He really does.
So Gurney is to open the way.
Yep.
Stilgar is to enter the basin from the west and distract their defense systems. Chani and her Fedaykin will attack from the east, inside of the basin. And Paul, with the fundamentalist, will attack from the north, head on.
Apply directly to the forehead.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
Head on. Apply directly to the forehead.
So I found it very interesting that Paul's group, he specifies with the fundamentalists.
Yeah.
Because his part of the plan is for sure the craziest part.
Yeah, and who are you going to get to do the crazy shit?
The fundamentalists.
Exactly.
As I was taking my notes, I was like, man, he really did Chani dirty because he gave her the hardest job. And then he explained his portion. I was like, nah, I'm just kidding. Paul's got the rough one.
Yeah. Because Chani at least will have some element of surprise.
Yeah.
Paul's just running through a giant open field.
Right. Well, running, TBD.
We'll see later. Next week.
And then Gurney says a line that it's a little confusing to me. He says, and I'll serve Arakeen for dessert. I don't know what he means by this.
I think it's just like, as the cherry on top, I'll recapture Arakeen.
Okay.
It's a weird line. I also
line.
agree.
Yeah.
It's one that is like a added to the movie kind of thing, and it's like, you think that might have could have been something different?
Was that Josh Brolin ad-libbing?
Probably not.
I don't know. Maybe. Have we seen him in comedic roles? Maybe he thinks that's funny as fuck.
Maybe. I don't know.
So Paul doesn't really sit with this dessert line for too long. He tells them that, he reminds them anyways, that he needs the Emperor alive.
And then Stilgar in Chakotsa says to Paul, "Long live the fighters."
Long live the fighters. Iconic line.
And all of the other Fremen around, all just long live the fighters. Yes, that's true. There's one notable Fremen who is scowling her way throughout all of this.
Yeah, not happy. Chani is just fucking mean mugging Paul this entire time.
Yeah. So after they all long live the fighters, Chani begins to unwrap the blue scarf from around her hand, and the rest get up and like start to leave away with their marching orders. And our last frame is Paul looking at Chani longingly from across this map.
Yeah.
She's fucking not having it, dude.
No, not one bit. We said a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, I don't know, but this is basically going to be Chani's demeanor for the rest of the movie. And she's really leaning into it here. She's just pissed. I mean, and rightfully so. I think we talked about last week when we had the Jessica Chani conversation, that Chani's like fully justified in feeling this way.
Sure.
So I know we've kind of given
he's
shit
done,
for Chani in the past, but like I can't right now.
Yeah. Her boyfriend has done the one thing he said he was most afraid of doing. And
Right.
now here are the consequences of his actions.
Exactly. Oh, man. Well, I sprinkled in my book notes as we went along, which I think you did the same for Art and Soul. So that is all I have for today. This is already a long minute.
This is going to be an interesting one to edit.
Just leave in the 10 minutes of silence for us looking at old classic trucks.
No, I will not do that. Anyways, we will be back tomorrow with another episode of the Dune Minute, but you can find us online. We are on Blue Sky at duneminute.com, and you can email duneminute@gmail.com if you'd like to keep in touch with us, and we'll see you then.
All right. See you later.